The Raw Tag Team division is dead, and we have dubbed in crowd noise for the greatest wrestling match ever. I'm John Retlin with my review of the greatest Backlash ever. How was this show? The WWE Championship match was the highlight. There were a few other moments in here that I did not mind. But overall, this was not a very good show. I also want to say right at the beginning, 20 some odd seconds into this, before I really get into this rant, it's probably going to turn into even more of a scathing rant. I'll try to dial it down just a little bit. If you guys like Backlash, terrific. Got nothing against you guys. I'm glad you guys liked it. Please sound off in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. But these are my opinions. So, one, they had at least 3 to 4 minutes of recaps before every single match. Now, they do this for some of the matches on pay-per-views, but not usually all. This was endless padding to get the show to 3 hours, 3.5 if you include where the pre-show match took off, and I quite frankly don't, and WWE sure as fuck doesn't care about the U.S. title. But credit to cat_woman13 for pointing out how many recaps there were. There was probably about 30 minutes of recaps, which I get maybe if you haven't tuned in to WWE programming, but if they're thinking that this show will entice people to tune in, no, this ain't it. Nobody wants JBL on WWE programming besides Vince McMahon and maybe a few others backstage. But I can't imagine too many fans really want JBL there because he doesn't serve any purpose. Apollo Crews versus Andrade, Zelina, and Angel Garza were there. Owens was on commentary. Owens stops Garza from interfering. And the powerbomb thing that Apollo does, 1, 2, 3, he retains the U.S. Championship. So, Apollo, you're getting a push, and you're on the kickoff show. That shows what they think of him, and especially the U.S. title. More so the U.S. title. Hopefully Apollo actually gets a pretty good push out of this. And then we get Sheamus with a promo about Jeff Hardy's demons and a whole bunch of stuff and everything, and he's going to help him exorcise those demons. Yep, we get that, and then we get an opening video package. The greatest matches ever, which included Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. It was one of the greatest hype matches ever. And as far as box office and mainstream appeal, it got it. But boy, in between the ropes, Andre just wasn't much of anything by that point. He was beat up, he needed back surgery, and Hogan was never a great worker. An experienced worker, just never all that great. Got by doing, getting a lot out of a little, that is. So we had the Iconics versus Bliss Cross Applesauce versus Bayley and Sasha. The Golden Role Models, I believe is what they're called, or the Golden Models. I'm not exactly sure. Mandy Rose might have something to say about that. And so it's a 3-way women's tag team championship match. And you know what? You just take 6 women, human centipede them together, and you get a match. Actually, it wasn't a bad opener. All these women worked really hard. I know there are some people who are down on the Iconics. I happen to like them, and I like their shtick. And even though I've been down on Bayley and Sasha, they were doing well here. All these women worked hard. And in the end, after Bliss hit Twisted Bliss, she got rolled up by Sasha. The most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll up, 1, 2, 3. Bayley and Sasha retain. Cool. Okay, cool. Great. You know what? That's fine. At least the Iconics didn't take a pin. And they should win the championships to inevitably split Sasha and Bayley from each other. And so, yeah, cool. I did like how we had constant fisting and mounting during this. That was really nice. It's always nice to see 6 women fisting and mounting. I might be watching something other than wrestling. Moving on. Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. I didn't care about this feud. I appreciate the efforts these guys put in. But you know what? I just didn't care. This could have been on SmackDown. Like, really, this didn't even need to be on pay-per-view. Jeff had beaten Sheamus in the Intercontinental Championship tournament, so I guess I should have expected that they were going to have Sheamus win here. And he did. But fucking hell, if Jeff wasn't selling a leg injury and was just falling, I really hope he's okay, because there were some falls that looked like they were legit, and ouch. Fucking ouch. That looked like it hurt. Bro kick on the outside, and then 1 in. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus wins. So we're gonna get a piss bottle on a pole match. I swear Russo got rehired. So we get Miz and Morrison, then Otis and Mandy. Otis talks about possibly cashing in, and Miz and/or Morrison get the victory in the Universal Championship handicap match, which either Miz or Morrison could win, but both can't win. Only one can win. There can be only one. So we then get Asuka versus Nia Jax. 4 years ago, around this time, Asuka and Nia Jax had a match at NXT TakeOver The End, where Nia Jax had not had a whole lot of experience. She had faced Bayley at NXT TakeOver London, which wasn't all that great. Bayley had to really carry her. Nia Jax has gotten progressively worse in the last 5-something years, has really gotten bad since TakeOver The End, and yeah, this wasn't very good. There was also a count-out finish. Asuka really had to carry Nia here. Asuka seemed pissed that she didn't win convincingly, so this feud continues. Hooray! The one feud we didn't want to have continue, even though I think you can make an argument for Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. So far, so Raw or SmackDown. Honestly, even with the dodgy finishes, it was what it was. Like, this wasn't all that bad so far. This could have been worse. It wasn't pay-per-view quality, but it could have been worse. Then we get MVP and Lana killing time. Lana saying that she helped get Lashley where he was. Into the shitter? Yeah, you kind of did. And I know Lana's just doing what she's told, but she is this generation's stable. Just with somehow worse fashion sense and worse and, lesser charisma. Which is sad because Lana's actually pretty good on promos. So, the Miz and Morrison single. Hooray, we got to hear more of that. And then the Strowman Express interrupted. Have I mentioned recently how much I hate Michael Cole? Braun versus Miz and Morrison. I mean, Miz and Morrison tried and everything, but this match wasn't very interesting. This was such a filler feud. Braun wins after pinning Morrison with a power slam. Cool. Okay, I'm just skipping through some of this because, again, a lot of it's just like TV. And then we get a Styles promo where he's going to have some kind of championship celebration thing, and Daniel Bryan should be there because he can learn a thing or two. By the way, Styles versus Daniel Bryan, better than the greatest wrestling match ever. Sorry, I'm just going to say it right there. Drew versus Lashley with MVP, WWE Championship. This was fucking terrific. Fucking terrific. I absolutely love this. Even with the dodgy finish of, of the goddamn idiot, the stupid twat interfering, Lana, that is. Honestly, this was one of the best WWE Championship matches that WWE has done in a while. This was fucking terrific. Lashley attacking Drew before he could, even jack it off, as Tom happened to point out. And he was just attacking Drew with the full Nelson and then scissoring him from behind. I thought I was watching something else for a second. The almighty Scotsman. That would be what would happen if they did the fusion dance and fused together. In fact, I demand to see them as an unlikely tag team at some point. Actually, no, that would be a bad idea. But this was really fucking good. These guys fucking killed it. They did some great stuff. Drew insisted on the match continuing after the referees did a pull apart. And it was great stuff. Drew kept kicking out at one, but Lashley would not be denied. Kept beating him down. Drew kept coming back. We kept getting some really good, big, strong boy offense. This was really good. I'm not going to go through every single move. But at one point, one of the commentators said Lashley trying to reach around. And I swear to you, I wouldn't have laughed, except I'm immature, so I fucking had to. There was a crossface and ankle lock. There's so many good transitions and submissions and power moves and stuff like that. This was good stuff. This is where I'm enjoying things. I'm like, okay, finally, it feels like a fucking pay-per-view. This feels like a goddamn pay-per-view. More of this shit. Where was this Lashley 2 years ago? Oh, right. They were having him beat Roman Reigns and then have him lose to Roman Reigns again. Not knocking Roman, but just the booking. They could have had Lashley versus Lesnar at SummerSlam 2018, but nope, they left Lashley off the card and then proceeded to, knock him down and build him back up and then knock him down again. They have not done good stuff with Lashley, and they are apparently paying him $3.5 million a year, and they are just finally figuring out, hey, let's just let this guy, who's a fucking tank and a fucking boulder with flesh wrapped around him, just destroy people. Maybe that's a good idea. So that's what they did, and it was good stuff. Lana appears. We get a distraction, and then we get the Claymore for 3. So Lana ends up getting knocked into MVP. And then the Claymore. So good. Lashley has an out. He's mad at Lana. He should be mad at Lana. Just mad at the fact that he's put in the storyline. Lana should be mad besides the money she signed another contract with WWE. Not that any company would take her because she really doesn't have any value because she's a charisma vacuum. But goddamn, just get Lashley away from Lana. And if you can't have him go after the WWE Championship now, have him face Brock at SummerSlam. Especially if they have a crowd back. If they have a crowd back, have him do that. Have him face off against Lesnar. Have him beat Lesnar. And then have him take the championship from Drew. Because they can make this work with Lashley. He's got to get rid of Lana. So, then, and apologies, by the way, if I sound like I'm a little bit off. Allergies are a goddamn bitch. So, Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits. So, this was supposed to be for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And guess what they did? It was cinematic, brawling bullshit, and I hated it. I absolutely hated this. WCW 2000 did shit like this, and there's a reason why WCW is not around anymore, besides the AOL Time Warner merger. They kept blowing money on bullshit like this. On stupid fucking bullshit like this. I like the Viking Raiders, and guess what? This was dumb. This was really fucking dumb. The Street Profits are actually a really good tag team. Montez is an incredible athlete. Him and Angelo have great chemistry. There's a way to make this work. And they didn't make this fucking work. It's really fucking bad. I know there are people that liked it, and if you liked it, fine, great. I'm glad that you guys liked it. Guess what I didn't? I didn't like this shit. Because I can take an element of goofiness and everything and da-da-da. I can take ha-ha in my wrestling, because wrestling is at times silly, even though we all know it's predetermined. You can have elements of entertainment. This wasn't entertainment because I hated every single thing that they've done to build up to this. You know, they had the brawl, they had a wind, you know, they had the spot where I believe it was Eric went into Braun Strowman's windshield. Oh no, shit, we got to get away. And Braun never appeared, so I guess Braun just came out there later and flipped his car over and then just like threw it into the ocean from there, which is probably what he did. So yeah, then we got axes, shields, you know, everybody's like ready and everything, and the Viking Raiders have golf clubs. Because, you know, we need to be reminded of this bullshit again, all this fucking shit that's going on. Windows are breaking, they're bashing through doors and everything, breaking and entering, or entering and breaking, or breaking out. Maybe they're trying to get out of their contracts by breaking shit. I don't know. And then, as if you needed more proof that Vince McMahon had lost touch, they have Tozawa with a bunch of ninjas on bikes, because apparently we just decided to, like, just fuck all this stuff up and everything. What was that one movie? Torqued? It reminded me of the movie Torqued. Remember that? Or was it Torque? I don't actually remember. That movie was really shit, whatever the title was. So Tozawa with ninjas, with bike helmets and stuff like that. Who asked for this? Who fucking asked for this? And also, why was the Nigerian guy, I don't remember, Jordan something or other? I actually don't remember. Is he Nigerian or is he from Zimbabwe? I actually don't remember. I know that he's from Africa and they hyped him up. He's like 7'3". And he's legit tall, and he appeared on NXT house shows and stuff like that, and I saw pictures of him. He's a big lad. And they had him appear. Apparently, they decided to bring back Supergiant Ninja the Yeti, and apparently Tozawa is his Sonny Ono. Boy, and I thought the whole Kaientai choppy your pee-pee thing was bad, and incredibly out of touch, and incredibly stereotypical, and borderline racist. Now, I'm not saying that there was any racial undertones with this. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't good at all. This is what we have to look forward to with Bruce Pritchard being in charge of WWE Creative. Granted, Heyman did a whole lot of bullshit, but boy, Vince McMahon just clearly doesn't fucking care. They clearly don't fucking care. Fuck everybody that had anything to do with putting this shit together. And that goes for the tag teams. I don't fucking care if any of them having to be watching this. I don't fucking care. I don't want anybody to lose their goddamn jobs, but you know what? Tag team wrestling is fucking dead on Raw and SmackDown because of this. Vince McMahon does not care about tag team wrestling, which was further evident by the fact that everybody ended up in the trash. Shout out to Cat_Woman13 again for the fact that all the tag team champions and the challengers end up in the trash. Why was there a giant lizard there? Was Godzilla there? Was it Roller Gator? Was it Alligator? Was it Alligator versus Megalodon? I mean, there are a whole bunch of those goddamn movies. Croconado. There we go. We need a crocodile tornado. Gatornado. We need something like that. Asylum, get to work. Like Asylum's watching this one. What the fuck else do they have to do? Just make money on small budgeted movies. Don't know what this review is anymore, but I'll tell you this. I would rather watch the Sharknado movies back to back. Well, I'd rather watch all 6 of them. Human Centipede them together, then watch this bullshit again. This was atrocious. This was, again, fuck everybody that had anything to do with this. Fuck anybody that put any of this together. You should all be fucking fired for it. I mean, I know I said I don't want people to lose. Get rid of Bruce Pritchard. Get rid of Kevin Dunn. Get rid of Vince McMahon. Just fucking hell. Have somebody take over. Triple H may not do much better, but he can't do any fucking worse than this. I said after watching Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole, which wasn't very good, but my God, what the fuck? This is where I checked out of this fucking thing. I go, you put this on before the greatest wrestling match ever. One funny line from Samoa Joe. Ninjas can really ruin a night. That was good. That was good shit. That was referencing when ninjas kidnapped him in Impact because Russo is a goddamn idiot. The Howard Finkel voiceover, so for, introducing Edge and Orton. That was a nice touch. R.I.P. Howard Finkel. Okay, the greatest wrestling match ever, Orton versus Edge. I appreciate the efforts that these guys put in. Apparently, Edge tore his tricep. And hopefully, if it's not a serious tear, he can rehab it and be fine. If he needs surgery, I hope he recovers regardless. Don't wish injury like that on anybody. I don't wish, honestly, and none of us should. If they hadn't dubbed in all this fucking crowd noise, guess what? This match actually would have been fine. This match would have been pretty good. The dubbed in crowd noise was lazy, was moronic, was fucking stupid to me. And whoever decided to do that should be freaking fired out of a cannon into the goddamn sun. Channel Futurama with this shit. It was fucking dumb. Now, yes, you could argue having all the, rehearsed reactions of the people that are the recruits around there was a bad idea. But guess what? They would have at least done a little bit better than this. Now, the greatest wrestling match ever, I will not discount the efforts of Edge and Orton here. Did they do good shit? Yes, they did. They pulled out a whole bunch of stuff from past feuds and everything, rock bottom pedigree, all this stuff, kill switch, not engage, but a whole bunch of stuff. They did a bunch of spears, RKO. They did the punt. Randy's tight punt, won it 1, 2, 3. Edge was going to be taken out on a stretcher? No. It didn't take me long to talk about that match, did it? No. Because this is what I have to say about this fucking pay-per-view. Because here's the thing. The pay-per-view was mostly lazy until Drew and Lashley. Now, I mean, again, well, actually, except for the three-way women's tag team championship match, they did fine. Asuka gave some good efforts. Nia should not be allowed near a championship ever again. But NXT TakeOver in Your House was actually pretty good. It wasn't even the best TakeOver by far, but at least those matches had some solid efforts in there. A lot of this just felt like, hey, we're just going to just troll you fuckers and do this. And again, take out the dub crowd noise. Take out some of the bullshit that they put around the greatest wrestling match ever, and this would have been pretty damn good. Styles versus Bryan from SmackDown was still better, but I will not discount the efforts of Edge and Orton. This pay-per-view was pretty goddamn atrocious overall, because besides the WWE Championship match and the women's tag match, really this was barely a C-level show, in my opinion. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin, questioning why the fuck I still watch this, but I watch so you guys don't have to. I'll see you tomorrow.